Hey everyone, I'm Kat and welcome back to Notice This, the channel where I break down lien laws and try to make them a little bit easier to understand. Today I am taking you to good old Rocky Top. Tennessee is one of those states where lien rights don't disappear because you did something wrong. They disappear because you waited too long. Everything feels fine until it absolutely is not. And the tricky part, the rule changes depending on whether you're a GC, a subcontractor, a supplier, and whether the project is private or public. Tennessee really said, details matter, good luck. So I will be breaking down Tennessee mechanics lien laws in plain English, who has to do what, and when timing actually matters. Tennessee is a reactive state, meaning Tennessee is not a single notice state, and it's definitely not a set it and forget it state. It's not the crock pot of lien laws. Your lien rights depend on your role on the project, how you're contracted, and when your work or materials were provided. Miss the timing and even a perfectly valid claim can become unenforceable, which feels personal, but it's just the state statute. So let's start with general contractors. In Tennessee, GCs usually do not have to send a preliminary notice to preserve your lien rights, pretty much in like all states, but it also creates a false sense of security. So this is where confidence turns into overconfidence, because while notice might not be required, filing deadlines absolutely are. And in most cases, a mechanics lien must be recorded within 90 days after the project is completed or abandoned. And if the owner files a notice of completion, then residential projects can shorten that window to 10 days, commercial projects can shorten it to 30 days. So even without notice requirements, GCs still need to be tracking timelines very carefully. No notice does not mean no consequences. So now let's talk about subcontractors and material suppliers, because in Tennessee, these two live in the same rule set. And yes, this is where things start to get a little spicy. If you're a subcontractor or supplier without a direct contract with the owner, Tennessee generally requires a notice of non-payment to preserve your lien rights. And here's the part that people miss. The notice must be sent within 90 days of the last day of each month you performed work or supplied materials and remain unpaid. So each month, Tennessee loves a recurring deadline. That means unpaid for March, deadline is 90 days for March 31st. And also unpaid for April, that's a separate notice and a separate deadline. No bundling, no rolling it out together. Tennessee is not flexible like that. And this is where people tend to get burned. They wait until payment becomes a real problem. And in Tennessee, by the time it's clearly going to be a problem, the deadline has usually already left the building. Also, quick reality check. Invoices, statements, follow-up emails, none of that will replace the statutory notice. So your accounting software, it does not double as legal protection. If notice requirements aren't met on time, then lien rights can be lost regardless of how much documentation you may have. Paperwork without deadlines, it's just paper. So now let's switch gears and talk about public projects, because this is a completely different animal. On public jobs in Tennessee, you cannot file a mechanics lien because you can't file a lien on public property. The courthouse kind of frowns on that. Instead, protection usually comes from the payment bond. So for subcontractors and suppliers on public projects, you generally must send a notice of non-payment, and that notice must be sent within 90 days from the last day you provided labor or materials. If you miss that deadline, then your bond claim rights may disappear, which is a very expensive lesson to learn. And just like private projects, waiting until payment fully falls apart is usually what causes people to miss their bond deadlines. Here's what I see most often in Tennessee. Notices sent too late because payment was still pending, multiple unpaid months treated as one deadline, and assuming private and public projects work the same way. Thinking invoices or emails also count as a notice. None of these mean the work that you did wasn't valid. It's just that the timing didn't line up, and the lien law only cares about timing. Tennessee Mechanics Lien Laws isn't impossible, but it is very precise, and precision is not optional. So when you understand which notices apply to your role and whether the project is private or public, then protecting your lien or bond rights becomes much easier. If this breakdown was helpful, like, subscribe, and let me know what state or topic you want covered next, and I'll keep trying to make lien laws make a little bit more sense. See you in the next state.